A mermaid-like being is said to have been discovered in Greenland. A so-called horror mermaid publicly displayed at an exhibition. Then a security camera captures a tail-finned figure crawling onto shore for just a few seconds. And offshore, multiple sailors claim they saw a half-human, half-fish creature rise from the sea. Is all of this just misunderstanding, staging, or collective imagination? And I'm Steve. Join me as we take a closer look at these highly questionable videos. This footage is said to have been recorded during an ice survey expedition in Greenland, when an exploration team accidentally opened an ancient ice tunnel. Their flashlight beams shine directly onto a being never recorded in any biological documentation. A half-human, half-fish body was crawling across broken ice. The upper torso was thin and frail, the skin pale gray as if drained of life, black hair soaked and clinging to a hollow face. The eyes were completely black with no visible whites, reflecting the cold light like a bottomless abyss. Its mouth curled into a twisted smile, revealing rows of thick, sharp teeth that looked more like those of an ancient predator than anything human. There is nothing truly reliable to prove this footage is real, and I agree with that. But there is something you need to hear. To me, Greenland has never been just a frozen island. It is a land too vast and too empty of human footsteps. Beneath ice that is miles thick lies an ancient ocean, a place where ecosystems could have been isolated for thousands or even millions of years. If this being truly exists, I do not believe it appeared recently. It may have been there for a very long time, simply untouched by humanity. And the moment that ice doorway was opened, it is possible that we were the intruders. Turning back the clock, did you know that in 1967, passengers aboard BC ferries reported seeing a mermaid sitting on rocks at Active Pass near Victoria? According to articles published in the Times Colonist at the time, the being had long blonde hair, a lower body resembling a dolphin, and appeared to be eating salmon when it was spotted along the shoreline. What makes the story even more intriguing is the claim that a passenger on an aircraft managed to take a photograph, and that image was reportedly published in a local newspaper. However, those involved later became unreachable, and the photograph itself nearly vanished from commonly accessible archives. What leaves many people puzzled is that the Vancouver Island region has long been famous for its sea legends, from Cadborosaurus to Sasquatch. So why did a mermaid story, one that once appeared in print, slowly fade into obscurity as if it never existed at all? But the story does not end there. In other locations, people claim they have seen real mermaids. In calm waters, a man on a kayak suddenly notices a large tail rising above the surface. The dark-colored tail is long and tapered, slowly curving and gently swaying with an unusually slow rhythm. Nothing like the sharp, decisive swimming of fish or seals. That smooth, fluid motion immediately brings to mind the image of a mermaid diving deep, then surfacing to observe its surroundings. The issue is the rhythm of that movement. It does not resemble a fish, a seal, or a dolphin I have seen in hundreds of other videos. This movement is softer, slower, almost intentional. I cannot help but wonder, if you were the one sitting in that kayak, what would go through your mind in that moment? Would you immediately search for a rational explanation, or would an old, familiar image briefly surface as well? The idea of something half-human, half-fish, watching from below the water. The next footage takes us into a completely different environment. This is a private exhibition known to very few. At the center of the room sits a large water tank under dim, cold lighting. Inside floats a mermaid-shaped entity, suspended in the water, motionless yet undeniably present. Dark skin, deformed limbs, a beauty so decayed it defies description. Questions arise immediately. Is this a preserved relic of ancient mythology, or the result of a failed biological experiment? There are no clear placards, no officially released origin, only the heavy silence of those standing before the tank, staring, unsure of what they are supposed to believe. And then another thought follows. If this is a real specimen, is it the last of its kind? Or worse, only the first one humanity has discovered? But this time, it is not an exhibition. This footage comes from a coastal security camera recorded at night. In the grainy, low-quality frame, amid crashing waves, a shape slowly becomes visible. The upper body appears human. Smooth skin reflects the cold glow of the camera. A long tail with clearly spread fins rests on a rock near the shoreline. The moment is brief. The creature remains almost perfectly still, leaning forward. The posture feels both exhausted and alert, as if it knows it is being watched. Then powerful waves surge in, completely obscuring the image. What makes this footage so controversial is the combination. A half-human, half-fish form, the unmistakable tail, the darkness of night, and the fixed angle of a security camera make the scene feel more like legend than reality. There is no theatrical movement, no cinematic framing, just a raw moment that refuses to be easily explained. And then, the story takes a strange turn. Yesterday, a friend sent me this video. It was recorded in Hoaxes, Philippines. The footage shows a massive fish caught in the water. At first, I honestly thought this was something not from Earth. A gigantic living mass standing upright in the sea. After closer inspection and cross-checking, I can confirm that this is a whale shark. But here's where things get complicated. A fully grown whale shark, weighing several tons, should not be able to hold itself upright like that. The explanation given was that the animal was drowning due to a lack of oxygen. However, that leads to another contradiction. A drowning shark would not be able to maintain a stable vertical position. The final conclusion was confirmed on September 7th, 2025. After additional information from local residents, marine life organizations stated that the shark did die from oxygen deprivation. A carcass floating vertically is extremely rare, but it can occur under very specific conditions. Rare, but real. When they looked down from the deck into the sea, what they saw did not resemble any familiar creature. Beneath the pale blue water was a slender figure with proportions strikingly close to a human body. The head was small and rounded, with no visible hair. The neck seemed to blend directly into the torso. Two upper limbs extended outward like arms, but their movement was slow, stiff, and lacked the natural rhythm of fish or marine animals. The lower body stretched unnaturally long, thin and tapered, fading into the water like a single tail or fused legs. The entire body was light in color, slightly translucent, blending with the waves until its outline became difficult to define. What the sailors could not look away from was the feeling that they were facing something that looked very human, yet moved in a way no human ever could. And if you spend enough time at sea, you begin to understand why a shape like that is enough for people to call it a merman. But mermen are not always seen underwater. A video that spread rapidly on social media shows a creature lying on a table, described as having been pulled from the sea. The shape is clear enough to shock immediately. Human-like proportions, familiar limb structure. Yet the overall appearance feels wrong in a way that is hard to explain. I did what the internet always does with clips like this. A reverse image search of the keyframes led to a TikTok video by Smooth On, a company that specializes in casting materials. The creature was actually a prop created for the HBO Max series Raised by Wolves. The truth is fairly clear, but the human reaction is not. Even knowing it is just a prop, many people still feel deeply unsettled when looking at it. Perhaps because our brains have a powerful instinctive response to half-human, half-fish forms. And I cannot help but wonder, if a model alone can trigger that kind of psychological effect, what would happen if one day, what lies on that table is no longer fake? At first glance, this footage convinces viewers that someone is drowning. Beneath the murky water, a dark hand suddenly rises to the surface. Fingers spread wide, twitching weakly, moving slowly as if calling for help. The shape is far too similar to a human hand to ignore, but it is not a person. The truth is that this is a crocodile in Indonesia lifting its front limb above the water, either accidentally or deliberately creating this horrifying illusion. According to researchers and local residents, crocodiles have been documented mimicking human movements to lure prey closer. And once the distance is close enough, the hunt ends in an instant. The frightening part is not the crocodile itself, but the fact that nature sometimes knows exactly which shapes make humans lower their guard. And sometimes, the thing that looks the most human is also the most dangerous. And now, before the eyes of those watching, Tenodo Beach in the Philippines turns into a massive living carpet. Millions of small silver sardines packed together, thrashing violently with each incoming wave, creating a rustling sound like rain falling on sand. The water seems to boil as shimmering bodies reflect the daylight. Waves surge in and pull back, leaving behind a thick layer of fish stretching along the shore for miles. Some leap out of the water, flailing wildly as if searching for escape, while others lie motionless, half hidden beneath the cloudy sea foam. The scene is both breathtaking and deeply unsettling. People stand caught between excitement at what feels like a gift from the ocean and a creeping chill, as if the sea itself is sending a message no one fully understands. Local residents celebrate, gathering the fish to take home, to eat, and to sell. But scientists see no gift here. The weather is calm, and a mass beaching on this scale is almost unheard of. If the ocean has a way of speaking, this looks less like an accident and more like a warning. From a distance, this creature doesn't look like a starfish. It looks like something that has lived for a very long time. The starfish in this footage is far larger than normal. 5 thick, heavy arms stretch outward, nearly as long as the height of a full-grown adult. The central body is swollen and raised, like an ancient mass of muscle gripping the seafloor. Its skin is a dark reddish-brown mixed with deep orange, covered in countless tiny white bumps, rough like natural armor. Along the arms are short, blunt spines, not sharp, but enough to make anyone hesitate before touching it. When it's pulled out of the water, it doesn't feel like lifting a marine animal, but like disturbing something that was never meant to be disturbed. You can't look at it without thinking about the depth it came from, and you can't help but wonder how long it's been down there. And then there are creatures that don't need size to make people uneasy. Feather stars drift silently in the darkness of the ocean, their bodies unfolding into delicate, layered arms like feathers. They move slowly, softly, almost beautiful in a hypnotic way. But that beauty hides a cold hunting mechanism. Each feather is lined with sticky tube feet, sweeping through the water to trap microscopic drifting life, then quietly guiding it toward the mouth. This creature has no heart, no brain, no eyes, no true stomach. Its entire body functions like a minimalist living machine, silent and efficient. A newly discovered Antarctic strawberry feather star species even has up to 20 arms, slowly curling through the icy water. When you look at it, you don't see aggression. You see a form of life completely foreign to everything we understand about survival. And sometimes, that unfamiliarity is exactly what unsettles us the most. Now let's move on to the next clip. Hanno is a freediving instructor who teaches breathing techniques for deep dives without equipment. While diving in waters near Ballantoy, he first believed he was looking at a large fish or a seal resting near the rocks. But as he watched more closely, Hanno realized the creature appeared to have a human-like upper body and a shimmering fishtail. Long hair flowed freely, its body lying still on the rocks, seemingly observing him in return. According to his account, The being remained there for several minutes before sliding into the cold waters of the Atlantic and disappearing. Hanno, who usually carries a camera on his dives, managed to take only a single photograph. He tried to follow the direction it swam, but despite years of professional diving experience, he couldn't keep up. Some believe this was simply a case of misidentification, while others are convinced Hanno encountered a real mermaid. And for those who live close to the sea, the story only reinforces a long-held belief that the ocean sometimes reveals just enough to remind us we're not the only ones who belong there. And not every strange creature comes in a mythical form. In the murky waters of the Amazon River, Brazilian scientists recorded footage of a larva-like organism slowly moving across the muddy riverbed. It's small, only a few inches long, but the feeling it gives off is anything but small. Its elongated body is dark brown to nearly black, covered in stiff bristles lining both sides. When light hits it, the surface glistens like wet metal. Those bristles don't stay still. They vibrate subtly with each movement, making the creature appear as if it's emitting a visible form of living energy. As it moves, its body contracts segment by segment, undulating slowly but with control. Researchers suspect this structure of bristles and muscle may be connected to its ability to generate electrical charges, a rare form of defense or biological communication. The Amazon has never been easy to understand, and discoveries like this force us to wonder how many other life forms exist right in front of us, yet remain beyond our ability to recognize. And then there are creatures that don't need to move to haunt you. Beneath the thick ice of the Arctic Ocean, the body of a massive Greenland shark is pulled up through the frozen surface. Its dark gray body is coated in snow and deep scars from grinding against solid ice. It feels heavy, ancient, and unnervingly still. Its mouth hangs open, revealing short, blunt, densely packed teeth. Not aggressive, not dramatic, just a biological structure built to survive for centuries in cold, lightless waters. Ropes and chains wrapped tightly around its body show the effort it took for humans to pull it from the world it belonged to. Dark, coagulated blood stains the white snow, creating a scene that's hard to put into words. And as I look at that motionless body, I see time itself, an ocean that existed long before us, and far too many things beyond our imagination. What about you? What are you thinking? In this clip, the fishermen can't hide their confusion as the creature lies fully exposed on the deck of the boat. At first glance, it's still a fish, but just seconds later, that sense of familiarity completely disappears. Its head is unnaturally elongated, its round eyes bulging, hollow, showing no visible reaction to light. Its mouth hangs wide open, revealing an internal structure even veteran sailors say they've never seen before. It doesn't thrash violently. It doesn't struggle. It simply lies there, silent, as if it doesn't belong in this layer of water at all. When compared with marine biology records, many people notice features that match deep-sea fish species, creatures that live where light barely exists. Animals designed for permanent darkness under crushing pressure. If you've seen this creature before or know what it is, please tell me. We return to Greenland and the longest living shark on Earth, but this time, it's very much alive. A fisherman recorded this moment as a Greenland shark silently glided past the side of his boat. Greenland sharks are the longest living vertebrates ever known. Their lifespan is estimated to exceed 270 years, with some individuals believed to be over 400 years old. They are born, grow, and age in the cold, deep waters of the Arctic and North Atlantic, where time itself seems to move more slowly. They mature incredibly late, sometimes taking over a century. They feed on carrion, hunt in silence, and exist as an inseparable part of the deep-sea ecosystem. When I watch this shark drift past the boat, I don't think of a monster. I think of a being that has lived through multiple human generations. And it's still there, watching, slowly, patiently. And then there are footages that blur every boundary. In an underwater rocky canyon, murky green water surrounds towering stone walls. Weak light filters down, enough to see, but not enough to feel safe. It's here that tourists claim they saw a human-like figure moving beneath the water, lurking between the rocks, as if observing them from within the crevices. No clear face, no distinct features, just a human-shaped silhouette, floating, moving slowly and deliberately. Similar accounts have emerged in the Black Sea, the Sea of Azov, and even the Mediterranean. In Turkey, what began as an ordinary tour turned into a haunting experience when multiple people insisted they were all seeing the same thing. It could be an illusion. It could be an unclassified marine species. Or it could be that beneath waters we consider calm and familiar, there are still forms of life that resemble us more closely than we'd like to admit. The moment the net was pulled up, everyone on the boat froze. What lay inside didn't resemble any fish they'd ever seen. The body was about 3 feet long, covered in mud and slime, bearing a disturbing half-human, half-fish appearance. The upper body resembled a primate with unusually long arms, while the lower half ended in a clearly defined fish tail. Its head was rough, jagged with protrusions, lacking any expression familiar to marine life. The footage was recorded handheld, documentary style, in real time, aboard a commercial fishing vessel. No staging, no immediate explanation, just confusion spreading across every frame. It felt like something had been pulled up that was never meant to exist in waters humans still reach. And the question appears immediately. Is this an undocumented species, an elaborate hoax, or the product of artificial intelligence becoming harder and harder to distinguish from reality? What do you think when you look at it? The final story comes from Australia, and it forced many biologists to pause for a long time before drawing any conclusions. What was discovered doesn't resemble a typical beehive. The structure is a distorted cylindrical mass, its surface covered in a biological network resembling veins. Thin strands weave tightly together like living tissue, moist and elastic, completely unlike the dry wax we're used to seeing. The outer layer carries a dark brown color mixed with fleshy purple, making it feel more like skin than an inorganic structure. At the center is a pale orange core, dense and compact, made up of hundreds of tiny chambers packed tightly together. Many describe it as resembling egg tissue or a developing larval mass. Surrounding the core is a porous layer filled with irregular cavities, looking more like a biological defense system than a hive wall. And the most unsettling part is the unanswered question. If this truly is a nest, what do you think is living inside it? If even one of these turns out to be real, then the ocean we think we understand may still be hiding something far bigger. Let me know what you think. Do you believe this is all coincidence or traces of a species that has never been officially acknowledged? If you have ever seen similar footage or know more about these cases, leave your comment below. And if you want to keep following the stories the ocean never willingly tells, do not forget to subscribe to the channel.